Hi. There are certain brain facts, that means myths in neuroscience. You would have heard ever, like generally our brain works only up to 10 percentage. Have you heard of this? Only 10 percentage, only 5 percentage, only 3 percentage it is working. Other parts of the brain or other percentage of the brain is not working. Or else people will say only we are utilizing 10 percentage of the brain. Actually, that is a myth. It is a wrong concept. Our brain works finely, more than 90 to 100 percentage it works finely. The point is in which way we are utilizing, that is the point. Okay, whether you are utilizing in the right way or wrong way, that is the concept. Even when you are sleeping also, some parts of the brain cells will be active, some parts of the neurons will be active. So actually this is a myth. Okay, it depends upon how far we are utilizing, in which way we are utilizing, that is the concept one. Then the next one, you will be having another myth also. Some people will say your intelligence depends upon the size of the brain. That means when your size of the brain is bigger, you are more intelligent. When your size of the brain is shorter, you'll have less intelligence. Actually that is also a myth. It does not depends upon the size of the brain. No, it does not depends upon the size of the brain. It depends upon the actually when we are thinking or when we are doing something, the neurons, the interstitial connection between the neurons, the information transfer from one neuron to another neuron, that is very important. So how far the interstitial space synapses is activating between the neurons, that decides our intelligence. How far it is there and how much Salk and gyrus is there, and how much Salk and gyrus is working actually, how far the neurons are inter signaling in between the synapses. I mean, in between two neurons, the synapse is there. How far the inter signaling is there, that decides the intelligence. Okay, this is another myth. Another myth, side of the brain. People will say right-sided person, right-sided. If suppose if somebody's brain, right-sided brain is working, that person will be more interested in arts, like dances, music, cultures, like these things. And suppose if the left side of the brain is working, they will be more of methodological, they will be more of logical, they will be more of arithmetic, like that people will say. Actually that is also false and myth. Okay, even some texts are saying that. Actually that is a myth. That is not a that's not the correct thing. Actually the brain works like sharing of informations. One side is brain is working, this side is brain is working, and it shares information, and collectively put together it gives the output and it gives the information or something, and we are reacting according to that. It's not about this side or this side. Okay, it's the logic. But maybe of course certain right-sided brain controls certain functions, left-sided brain controls certain functions. That is true. But anyway, those functions are shared in between, and final output is only we are going to produce outside or show outside, or suppose we are doing something, means that is the final output only. It is not about one side brain, it's not about right side or left side. Okay, that is also a myth. And certain things, like when you are getting aged, your brain functions or your brain's cells are start to deteriorate, people will say. And even many texts are saying that. Logically speaking, I used to say to my students, logically speaking, even until we die, neurogenesis process will take place. So that is right. Actually, due to age, your brain will deteriorate. That is a myth actually. Maybe people will forget certain things when you cross 50 or 60 and 60 above. People will forget certain things. There may be certain memory issues, age related memory issues may be there, right? But brain will not completely deteriorate. Even you think, suppose you just you try to think about your grandfather or your father or your uncle, their decision making, how it will be their decision making, like your mom, how they will take decisions. Suppose some family issues are going on, they will sit and speak together. Just listen to them, how far they are speaking, and how far they try to remember the things, recall the things, they try to correlate with the things, they try to mingle with the society and speak something, the concept deeply. How this is happening? If suppose the brain starts to deteriorate after a particular age, means how this is happening? Some old age people will be there above 60, and they will say something about some marriage function or something, they will sit and speak. Okay, so they start to sit up speak about that and those things. So when they try to sit and speak, their decision making will always be fine. They think about the family, they think about the function, they think about money, how far the expenditure will be there, they think about other people, society, everything, and finally they will give the output and they say the their own decision. Finally the outcome of the decision will be fine and exact. Have you ever heard of this? How it is possible? If there is a myth that after you are attaining some certain age, your brain is actually deteriorating. Suppose if it is true, then that will not happen, right? So actually that is not right, that is a myth. Some certain memory issues may be there, but that is a myth. Okay, actually, even until you are dying, your brain will go, your brain function can be normal. How far you are replacing the brain, that is the point. Okay, thank you.